Welcome back, my beauties, and welcome if you're new. My name is Sheena, and if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get into today's set. So for today's set, it is going to be an acrylic set, and I've done all of my normal prep off camera. So I did push back my cuticles, ran around the cuticle to remove any dead skin, roughed up my natural nail. I then applied on these EC Basket coffin tips with Macard's nail glue, and I do not like the shape of these tips, so I shaped them into an almond shape. And normally at that point you would want to go in and remove the shine from the tip itself. I did go ahead and skip that step, but I am going in with a layer of Macard's dehydrator and then 2 coats of the Young Nails Protein Bond to finish up prep. So I did show my jar of Mia's Secret Clear Acrylic because to start the set I always do go in with a layer of clear just to protect my natural nail and from any staining that the colored acrylic might do. So I'm taking a thin layer and I'm placing it over the nail bed area of the nail and bringing it down over where the tip and the natural nail meet. Now on my index finger, because the last set I did, which was acrylic, was all clear, I kind of forgot that I was just supposed to be applying that thin layer. So I am doing my normal process here on this finger, and surprisingly it didn't turn out too thick. So I did apply about 3 beads to this nail as if I was just doing a clear set. And then after I did that, I realized what I was supposed to be doing. So for the first, my index, I'm gonna do like a full coverage of the clear, but on the rest of the fingers, I will just do the 1 bead to cover my natural nail to go ahead and start with my set. So for the set, I'm going in with 34, which is a Model 1's dip powder. And I'm also going in with Haze Blue, which is a Cyberlon acrylic that I purchased a while back. I purchased both off Amazon. And I must say that the dip powder is definitely a dip powder, so it didn't work as well as I would have liked with the monomer. And I do know that all dip powders are not meant to be used with monomer. So I know there's a company, Double Dip. I am so interested in them. But I know theirs is like 2-in-1, so it's acrylic and dip powder. But this one is definitely just a dip powder. So I let it set on the brush to soak up the monomer, and when I placed it down, it was just like super watery. I did make it work, obviously, and it did dry, but just the consistency alone let me know that this is definitely a dip powder. So with these particular dip powders that I have, I won't be using monomer again, but it worked for what I wanted to do for the set today. So when I went in with my next nail, my ring finger, I did try to make the bead a little bit more drier to see if that would change the consistency of the dip powder, but it still was watery no matter how much monomer I took out of the brush. And I'm just thinking it's because it's an actual dip powder and not acrylic. So it was pretty runny, but I did work with it and I made it work. Off camera, I do go ahead and do the tip of the thumb the same way as well. So on my index, I go in with Haze Blue, and I pick that up with my monomer and let the monomer soak into the bead, and then I place that right on the nail, and I go ahead and just spread that down the nail. So I've said this before in a previous video, but basically with colored acrylic, you're just using it for the actual color. So I'm just going to be covering this nail with the blue shade very thinly because I'm going to go over this afterwards and cap it with clear so that I'm not able to file off this blue when I do go into file shape and buff. And when I'm doing my acrylic application, one thing that I really watch for is the shape of the nail tip. So whatever shape my nail tip is, I try very hard to make sure that I do keep the nail in that same form, making sure to kind of just clean up the sides constantly as I'm doing the nail to make sure that shape stays in place and that I have very minimal fouling. When I do get up by the cuticle, I take my time and make sure to make that nice and flushed and make that be right up there. It's not actually on the cuticle, but it is pretty close. And then if anything does get on my skin, I just go ahead and clean that up. But for the cuticle area, for me, that's an area I feel like I still need to work on because I do get a little nervous when I get up there because obviously I don't want acrylic getting stuck to my skin. But you just want to take your time and just make sure that you don't get it on your skin, but you do get it nice and flush and as close to the cuticle as possible. So I'm also going in with a full nail of the haze blue on my pinky, and I do the same thing, basically take a bead down by the free edge and smooth that over, and then I take a bead up by the cuticle, try to make the cuticle area flushed, and then I do go ahead and smooth that out as well. I absolutely love acrylic application. It's just so satisfying to me. I am still so much of a beginner, but I can just see the potential in this, and I'm just trying to work on basically now my monomer to liquid ratio with the odorless, because that's what I'm gonna try to kind of stick with is odorless monomer. Now in the future, if a company does want me to send me their monomers to try or something like that, I'm not opposed to it. I do still have regular monomer, but I do really enjoy this monomer right now, so I'm gonna try to stick with it and kind of learn it. So on my index finger, the acrylic kind of ran over. I fixed it, but it kind of ran over, and the reason why is because when I first put the monomer in, I didn't put enough acetone, so I did have to add more acetone for it to set a little faster, and going forward it worked absolutely perfectly. So now I'm going in with haze blue again to finish up my ombre nails, and I did end up doing that on my middle, my ring, and my thumb. And so I'm just taking a bead up by the cuticle, again trying to make that as flush as possible, and then I'm going to bring that bead down and just kind of try to blend that into an ombre. So this is like only maybe my third time trying ombre. I think like my second actually. So I do need work on this still, and I think I have a technique now that I would like to try in a future video when I do another acrylic set, but it came out okay for the most part, being that I'm someone that's new to acrylic, and basically I'm self-teaching myself. Like I do watch videos and things like that, but I'm more of a hands-on learner, so me watching someone do it 100 times might not help me as much as me going in and just giving it a try. So I'm going ahead and just going to finish up my ombre on my ring and my thumb. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And I would like to take the time to thank anyone who has watched any one of my videos. It is greatly appreciated. To anyone who is new to the channel, welcome to the Nail Addict family. And thank you so much for joining me on my nail journey. And to anyone that has been subscribed, I thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you. And this is how my nails are looking after just applying the colored acrylic. So now I'm taking the Mia Secret Clear and I'm going to go ahead and just go over all of the nails. And I'm going ahead and just building up the nails with the clear is basically what I'm doing. So I'm taking a bead and I'm starting by the free edge and I'm going to go ahead and just smooth that portion over the nail. When I get up by the cuticle, it's important that I have enough acrylic there to build an apex because, like I said, at this point I am trying to actually build up the nail. And I'm going to repeat this step over all of my nails. I can definitely say that I'm absolutely loving Mia's Secret Acrylic, the clear. It is like very nice. I love how no matter what monomer I use, when I pick up a bead of this acrylic, it's just so buttery and it just goes on the nails so well. And I absolutely love it. So I definitely knew that before the winter season was over that I did want to do a set with snowflakes. So I've done quite a few sets in December and I could have incorporated snowflakes in any one of those sets, but I wanted a set specifically for snowflakes just because anytime I see like nail art with snowflakes or just not even nail art, anything with snowflakes, I think they're so beautiful. I've never really seen snowflakes in person and one day I will, but I just think they're absolutely gorgeous and I knew I had to have a winter set with just snowflakes before the season was over. So off camera, I did go ahead and file shape and buff the nails. I'm going in on my index with some top coat and I'm gonna go ahead and cure for 30 seconds and start my nail art. Once I got done with the nail set, I noticed it was like a kind of like stained look in the acrylic when it dried. I'm not sure why that happened, but the design did cover it up. I just noticed that and I really didn't like it because that was the first time I ever saw that happen when I used acrylic. But this snowflake design I'm going in with is the method I saw with the dotting tool. So I'm going to take the dotting tool and just make my dots in the shape of like a star. And then I'll take my McCart nail art brush in a size 2 and I'll go ahead and just connect those lines to form my first snowflake. Once I get that set, I do go ahead and cure in the lamp for 30 seconds and I am using my white Beetles gel polish for my nail art. So I then take my top coat again and go over my ring finger to start the nail art there, and I cure for 30 seconds. So the reason why I put top coat on my nail when doing nail art is so that if I make any type of a mistake, I'm able to easily wipe it off and just go back at it. So for this one, I am drawing a solid like star shape with my nail art brush. And on this one, I'll kind of make, I'm not sure what you want to call it, but like the little pieces at the end of the really beautiful snowflakes. So it's a different type of snowflake I'm doing on this nail. But once I get everything set, I do go ahead and cure for 30 seconds. Again, I want to mention some areas the lines were a little thicker than others because, like I stated in a previous video, I believe when you're using gel polish, the consistency sometimes can mess it up when you're doing nail art. And for this particular design, like the gel polish was like bulking at the tip at times, and it wasn't allowing me to make the lines as thin as I would have liked, but I still think that the design came out nice overall. Then I took my dotting tool and just made random dots all over both of those nails. I then went in with these white snowflake stickers from McCart's December Your Nail Lab in a box, and I'm going to be placing those on my pinky and my thumb. So I was initially going to go ahead and just draw a snowflake on all of the fingers, but then I thought about these stickers and the fact that I actually haven't used them, so I did want to get some use out of them, and I just tied them into the set. I didn't show me taking them off of the nail plate where they were on, and it's because it was so difficult to get these off. You have to be careful, but once I got them set on the nail, I did go in with my dotting tool and just make dots throughout the nail on both of the nails as well. I'm then taking my McCart rhinestone glue on my middle finger, and then I'm going to go over that with top coat to go ahead and start applying my stones. So the stones I'm using I got from Amazon, and it came with a set, so it came with both of the rhinestones you see, just in different shades. And I don't know, it was just a random design. Rhinestone placement is something that I'm trying to work on. So I kind of laid out some of them just to kind of see what I wanted to do. And it was really random and simple, but I think that the design was pretty cute. So I do go ahead and place them on my nail and cure for 30 seconds. Then I go in with top coat just to kind of secure the design that I drew on the nails and get everything nice and set. Make sure those stickers are in place, and then I cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. Off camera, I do apply my Madam Glam cuticle oil, and this is my finished set. I absolutely love this set. I'm so happy that I decided to do my own snowflake set. Comment down below and let me know what you think of my nail set. And if you've made it this far, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my future sets. I thank you all so very much for taking your time to watch my video today. I appreciate you all. I adore you. And most of all, I love you. Thank you so very much, and much love.